Hey, I'm Lee Laree.
And I'm Nick B.
And this is Dirty Roses Podcast, where two girls from the City of Roses discuss love, lust, and perception.
And we got two very different perspectives.
That's right, because my girl Nick B is a long-term habitual dater.
Oh, for real? That's what we're doing?
I mean, girl, it's facts.
Okay, you're right. And my girl Lee Laree was tied down and now newly single and don't know a thing about dating.
Dang, well, here we are taking our friends' dating stories
and having real life conversations.
Dirty Roses Podcast starts now. I'm Lee Laree.
And I'm Nick B.
And welcome to Dirty Roses Podcast. Guess what, y'all? We're going to be talking about the different levels of relationships today.
Yes.
We mentioned it, and you seen Nick B posted on our social media a while ago about how there are different levels and different stages of being in a relationship where, you know, you may be dating, courting, talking, conversing, entangled, whatever it is. There are different stages, different levels of all that. We're going to be talking about it today.
Yeah.
We have an amazing guest in here who says that he has an expertise or a good wealth of knowledge around this. So go ahead and introduce yourself, my man.
Alex Green.
Hey.
Thank you for being here, Alex.
I'm here.
Hey, motivational speaker.
Yes.
Listen, I won't say expertise in this particular topic, but I know what not to do.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Okay.
That works. I mean, hey, you can either learn from watching, learn from experience, or whatever it is, but you can gain some knowledge some kind of way.
Absolutely.
And you can help somebody else out. So, Mr. Alex, ex-NFL player, current motivational speaker.
Come on.
And also author. Add author to that.
Let's
yes.
go. Yeah, I added author to the tag.
Yes, we going to check all these boxes, okay?
Yeah.
Well, as you know, we start every episode with a scenario that leads us to this topic. Its scenario might be ours, it might be somebody else's, it might be one that we've just heard. So we are talking about different levels of relationships. Guy meets girl. They start chatting and talking and doing the little thug thizzle. They go on dates. They hang out. She's at his house. She's cooking for him at his house. She's met friends. But they're not in a relationship. They're doing relationship things. She's doing wifey duties. But she thought she was in a relationship. He was not.
Okay.
So have you been in this situation, Nick B?
I think it's easy to be in this situation. Okay. So I find that dating today comes with a lot of non-understandings. There's no communication, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
People are a little scared to ask the questions that they think might hinder the relationship from going forward by appearing to be over aggressive or over ambitious in thinking of where this relationship is going to end up. And so there's a lot of times that people omit what they're really looking for. And by doing that, they then don't have a conversation as to, well, what is this that we're actually doing? So absolutely, I've been in situationships where in my head I'm thinking it's moving forward and we're becoming monogamous and we're, you know, establishing this relationship. Right. But in reality, he's just here to have fun. And we just didn't have this understanding. And so this last guy that I was seeing, it was really interesting. He sent me a link, and it had to do with the levels of dating, which I had never seen. I've never even really considered. And when I really sat and looked at it, I was like, oh, so we're at level 4. Single, but texting, you know, sending emojis and messaging. We're not together. We are both single, and we just flirting. You know, even though we may have been doing this for a month, we still at level 4.
Right.
That doesn't mean that we're in a relationship. And I was like, oh, I like this. And so it made me really question other people and where they're at in their relationships and is it ever talked about. So here we are.
And the big theme for last season was communication.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of, did you communicate what your expectations were? Did you communicate what you wanted out of this interaction? Did you even have that conversation? Because if not, then it could be open to interpretation on all parts.
Right.
So,
right.
Mr. Owens, what do you think about levels of relationships?
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Okay. Levels. There are levels to relationships, right? I think they all play their purpose based on what someone is willing to do. So if you say, like, okay, let's say effort. So if I'm in a relationship with A, and if A is given a level 2 effort, that's the level of relationship it's going to be. If I'm, you know, seeing or talking to or getting to know B, and B is going, you know, 8 or 9, then the level of relationship is going to be a little deeper. The level is going to be a little higher. You know, she might be at he might be at a 6 or a 7. And I think just the effort, you know, people want to see effort. People want to feel wanted. People want to feel like the other person care about them, you know, and I think that just goes back to effort, not really a sense of like, okay, I like you, you like me, so this is what we're gonna do. But it's like, are you willing to go out your way in a sense to make sure that my needs are met? You know, whether that's socially, emotionally, you know, sometimes financially, whatever the situation is. But I think the effort play a big part on like the level of relationship that one have.
Is exuding effort, does that come simply by what they want or what they see the effort is given towards them as well? So let me ask you, if you were seeing someone and they were giving you level 8 energy, does that mean you're matching the energy? What if you don't necessarily want the same relationship as them? So
that's good. No, I think like just human nature. Like if somebody give me a energy, I think I'm more willing to go. Like okay, so for instance, I'm a coach, right? And so if I know a coach, and I've been a player, so if I'm a coach and if I'm really tapping into my player and giving them energy and trying to maximize their effort and showing them that I care and going out my way, that player is going to go on the field and play a little harder for me. So I think the same thing in relationships. So if somebody's giving me level 8 energy, right, I think just naturally I'm going to want to go hard for that person too because I've seen that she or he has been solid in my life. So it's just a little easier to give back what they gave me.
Okay, that makes sense to me, yeah.
And so you mentioned like A and B person. So that means that you could be at different levels of different people at the same time. Is that how you, not you particularly, but just how it could work for people?
You can.
And does it have to be intimate or could it be also this how we view platonic relationships as well?
Even just platonic, you know, homeboys, friendships, family relationships, you know, and even intimate relationships, you know, in a sense. And I feel like unless you put that if you have a communication, if you have that label or that title on it, then okay, things, you know, boundaries get set and it's a little different. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we all here because we want to like give off love and we want to receive love. And so if multiple people is giving me love and feeding and filling my cup, who am I to say no to that, and vice versa? As long as it's not stepping on toes and
let's talk about that cup being full though. So.
Right,
but as long as it's not like, you know, disrespecting nobody, you know, or stepping on somebody's toes or, you know, crossing boundaries, then I think that like as long as somebody's filling your cup, why? Like who am I to say no? Don't fill my cup.
Okay, well let me ask you this: if we got multiple people filling your cup, do you ever get to a point where you're like, I just want one person to fill my cup? And if it's just one person, do you allow the others to not so you can focus on the one, giving them the room to do that? Or are you constantly looking to be poured into from, are you at that stage where you would even want that? You know, like...
Yeah, I think it depends on what you really want in your cup. You know, some people, like, people bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
You know, I might have somebody that you know, is just a great sense of humor. So if I'm feeling down this day, I know I can call that person and they'll fill my cup on an emotional level, right? I know somebody is very serious about their business, and I need some business advice. I can talk to that person for 2 hours about business, you know. So I think it all depends. Now, if we want to get juicy and talk about relationships
that's what we're
and
here
romantic
for.
relationships,
I mean, we talk everything love, lust, and perception. That's the point of the podcast.
So then I think to answer that question, like, yeah, you know, I think you can get your cup poured from multiple people. Okay. If that's what you want. And I also think on the other end that, yeah, like if somebody's pouring into my cup so much, again, going back to the effort, if somebody give me an 8 or 9 effort, I don't need that 2 or 3 on the side. Okay. You know, and yeah, I'm good with that 8 or 9 effort, that energy, or that pouring to my cup from that one person.
So when it comes to you specifically, are you someone who is dating for a purpose or happy right now dating just because you simply want to date? You're not necessarily, are you looking for monogamy, long-term relationship, and are you expressing that to people when you meet them today?
Yeah, I think just being like an 80s baby, always kind of like had that, you know what I mean? I wanted like that marriage, white picket fence. Yeah. You know what I mean? With the kids, like always like
we
long
got
for
sold that American dream.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right? So I think
fairy tales.
Yeah, so I think it's like a logically always kind of want that, but like honestly,
instead we get hood tales. But go ahead.
Yeah. We get the, you know, I'm 3 kids in, 3 baby mamas deep. Okay. You know, so it's not the white picket fence,
3 and 3,
but it's still my love story. You know what I'm saying? It's still my story. Like it's still beautiful to me.
Yeah. Right.
But like I don't really like when I'm like me personally now, and we can get into it about my past relationships, but where I'm at now, like man, I'm just dating just to, if I am dating, I'm just trying to make like solid connections. I'm
Yeah.
trying to meet solid people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want to meet somebody who's solid. Like, that's the only thing I think that was missing in my life, was just having somebody who was like really just solid. You know?
So,
makes sense.
question. So, when you talk about people being able to receive from multiple people, right? So, like, you've got people pouring into you from different aspects, right? Do you think people are able or have the capacity to refill all those other cups as well? Because it's got to be a give and take, right?
Right.
So then, when you mention you're not going to turn away someone from pouring into you, right? But are you pouring back?
Yeah, and again, I think you kind of have a sense of obligation to pour back into the ones who pour into you. You know, it's just showing that, just reciprocating like energy for real.
Right.
You know, if somebody's showing you love and holding it down, like it's your duty, especially as a man, like to show that love back. And I think it's a little easier when you know somebody else is solid and they're proven and they've been battle tested. It's easy to kind of show that love back and hold them down when they're down.
So, go ahead, girl.
I was gonna say, so when it comes to you and
Talking
dating,
to the mic.
sorry, I think my chair is too far back. See all this space I got here? Okay.
It's
So
them
when it comes,
titties.
when it comes to you and dating,
Being so professional.
what's your comfort before you're like, okay, I've been on 2 dates, I've been on 3 dates, before you're like, oh, okay, now I'm ready to make this more of my lady. How long is your dating process? Where are you comfortable when it comes to dating?
Man, for me, it take as long as it take. It could take one date.
1 date, really?
And I know for sure.
That's happened to you before? Off of 1 date with someone you've been
Absolutely.
like, this is who I want to be with, at least for now?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
I've been
Said
on.
at least for
At
now.
least
At least for
because
now.
You
I mean,
never know what the future holds.
No, that's real.
Right?
You never know.
So
There's no
that's
timeline.
facts.
That's real. I can't put a stamp on it.
But right now, this is what I'm
But I've sat down and had a date with someone. We had dinner. And right then I knew.
Instant connection at dinner.
Instant connection. Like, you just
Okay.
feel the vibe. But yeah, we got things to work on. I got to get to know you. I know you got flaws. I know you got insecurities, blah, blah, blah. I got mine too. But I know for sure with our energy and the way we vibing, I
Yeah.
know, okay, we can lock this in moving forward.
So I assume that situation is not present today. You aren't really seeing that person today.
No, I'm not seeing that person today.
So looking back at that, would you analyze that instant connection, that instant chemistry now? Would you see that more as lust versus what you thought it may have been in that moment?
Yeah, definitely. I see it more as lust, and just kind of basing, like my perspective was kind of just in the way I view things, which is based off like how I say sand. No, it was all just surface level things.
Okay.
You know, looks. You know, okay, we can laugh together, and you know, we can have a good time, and there's no awkward moments and no dead moments. Our conversation is good. Eye contact is on point. You know what I'm saying? All these things, but that's all external things. You know, and so nowadays, like I look more like internal. You know, like what's your mindset? What's your goals? You know, like what do you want to do in your life? You know, like what's your family history? You know, just things that's like
Family history is important.
it's
That is-
important. You know,
Because you get with someone, you get with their family.
Right.
yeah,
that part.
absolutely. And so for me, like, yeah, just things that's like, you know, I try not to go so more like surface level and be like external.
Yeah.
You know, I still love to look at a beautiful woman. Right. I'm still human. Right. I still
Right. So do I.
still like to look. You know, still like to laugh and have a good time and all those things. But I won't make that next step now. I won't say, okay, we locked in.
Yeah.
You know, I take it a deep further. We might go on a second or third date, and we can talk about the real stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what is the trepidation that you have with actually giving something a title?
Lee, don't be throwing these big words at me. Okay.
Yeah, what
Don't be
is-
throwing
what
these
did you
big
say?
words at-
A
don't be throwing these-
Trepidation.
Listen.
What is your
Trepidation.
hesitation? What is your
Okay.
Break that word
the
down.
issue that
I
you
like
have?
that word though. It rolled off smooth.
She's smart.
I'm
Yeah,
a
she's
plethora
smart.
of words.
Let me get a girl that say that. It's locked in.
Wait, can you say that word one more
Yeah.
time for the back?
Trepidation.
Trepidation.
You gotta say it sexy. It's trepidation.
Wait, is
Trepidation.
it with a P or B?
Trepidation.
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 That's like that's a trip
Trepidation.
location.
See, now I feel like I'm saying, now y'all, that's like saying Tupperware too many times. Now I feel like I said the word so many. I'm like,
Trepidation.
Trepidation.
That's smooth. Trepidation. Okay.
trepidation.
Trap. Sound like a trap.
Trepidation.
Trepidation.
Wow, y'all like this?
Okay,
What
so
is
that
our-
means
that's how we
Your
dumb down a good
hesitation.
word.
What is your
My
hesitation,
hesitation, okay.
with giving a title to a thing?
okay. So my trepidation with giving a title, yeah, with giving a title is the expectation that come with it. I don't like the expectation that come with it, and I'm not saying that because I'm afraid of commitment and all these other things, right? I'm talking about the expectation that leads to resentment, right? Because now if I'm titled as your boyfriend, your husband, your life partner, whatever it is, there's a certain amount of like entitlement that comes with that. And there's a certain code that I got to live up to, right? So Now I gotta hit you up. I gotta bring flowers on a certain day. It's summertime. We gotta go on a trip. I'm just being real. We gotta go on a trip.
But I mean, not really.
Valentine's Day come around. You need something. Not really, right? But the expectation.
But that's
for me personally.
Okay, so that's your expectation of what a relationship
that's
is.
my experience.
Okay.
That's my experience. Not my expectation, because I don't have the expectation on my lady. If she got a title, you don't have to do all these things for me.
But is your experience based on healthy past relationships?
No.
Okay, so since we get to set and define what our relationships are, that title could mean a lot of things, and it means different things in different relationships.
For sure.
So it's really about having that conversation with whomever you choose that you want this moment of monogamy with, this moment of sharing my life with, and saying, okay, well, what's important to you? Maybe flowers aren't important to this person, and maybe the big production of Valentine's Day really ain't that serious because she worked from home, so who's she impressing by getting some, flowers at the house? Like, what are we doing? So it's really about kind of, what does this relationship mean to you? What do you expect from me through having it? And you kind of taking some of that pressure off yourself, because you're kind of setting your own expectation, assuming.
Basing it off a toxic past relationship.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. And I have done that before. But I also know how humans operate, right? We do want nice things on holidays, on our birthdays, right? Like, we want to feel, again, we want to feel thought of, loved. We want to feel like, okay, like, at minimum, you could at least give me a rose.
Gas station, $2.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Not the tweaker roses.
Some oranges on the street.
The roses that they buying.
But everybody, but if we being real, and I love that mindset, right? But everybody's not like that,
right?
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The general pop,
don't.
And it is, and guys too. It is what it is, but it's just not like that.
But do you feel like you're setting yourself up for failure by saying that you're not capable of finding a person who aligns with what you like doing or your love languages?
I don't rule that out, that I can find somebody that aligns with what I like. But I also, at the same time, from my personal experience, I know over time, because I've been in relationships where it was just how we talking about. It was good.
Right.
The first 2 years. Year 3 and 4, right? It was like, okay, what we doing?
Yeah.
We're a little more locked in now. Like, we need to, like, go do some things. Now, let me say this. Before the title got on, we was doing all the things. And that's why that's my experience. Like, because now, like, bro, I'm doing this because I want to. You know what I mean?
Not because you're expected to.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just fool with you that heavy. So, like, yo, like, let's go take a trip this weekend. Yeah. You know, I want you to be with me on a trip. Because me and you vibe together. Right. I don't care what it is. Right. And if we locked in, I'm not going to step outside of that. And if you locked in, you're not going to step outside of that.
Yeah.
You know, but as soon as that title, that label come on, then it's like, ooh wee.
When does the conversation of monogamy come into play, though? Because if you're locked in with somebody and you have like that good energy, that good vibe, and it's all good, do you enter a monogamous relationship with somebody with no title, or is it still like, I'm still getting my cups filled?
I love the no title.
Okay.
Personally, man.
It takes the pressure off.
Because it's like, yo, I'm here because I want to be here. You here because you want to be here.
But is it monogamous, or could it be monogamous?
It could be. And here's my thing. I had this conversation the other day with my homeboy. I'm not gonna put no boundary or no limit on you, right? So if we go out to a club together and there's no title, right? We haven't had a conversation about monogamy, and we going out, and if some dude crack you at a club or in a bar or whatever, that's on you.
Wait, crack you?
If he get your number, buy you a drink, and y'all, and, he catch a dance with
to
you.
my vocabulary.
Trepidation, and get cracked.
I was like, he came up with a bottle of it. Like, I don't want that kind of love.
That sounds like a real life Lil Jon song.
I don't want it.
So if he getting at you and he's successful, if he shoot a shot and he's successful, he make it because you let him make it. Right, that's on you.
Okay, so given that scenario,
talk to me.
Does the energy change then? Because do you have the expectation that she gonna be like, nah, I'm good?
Well, definitely the energy changes. The energy changes for sure. Now, if we're going out and if you getting cracked by somebody, right, and
I'm translating in my head.
Right,
not getting beat
if he's
up.
shooting his shot, not getting beat up. If he's shooting his shot and he's successful, okay, now I know how you move, and so I can move accordingly off knowing that information.
See, that sounds like spite. Oh, so
it feels like
no. I'm not mad at her. I'm not not going to even. I'm not even bring it up.
But you're changing how you're moving.
Absolutely.
So you're not moving based on how you would just naturally flow. You're saying, I see what you did. I got you. I'm a one up.
I'm not gonna one up
Okay, so then why
I'm
does
not
it
gonna
matter
one
how
up.
she moves then?
because it gives me the information and it gives me the guidance of how I should move. Because now I know, okay, if she's trying to get cracked by every dude in the club, okay, well I might be can't lock her down as thoroughly as I thought I could in the beginning.
What if you were getting cracked at or cracked on?
This is
I
a
don't get
lot of
cracked on.
cracks.
I don't get cracked
You don't
on.
get cracked
I don't
on?
get cracked
I think
on.
you're a liar and a lie. If I understand what cracked means now.
Let's break it down. If somebody's shooting that shot at me,
That's
like,
getting cracked on, right?
That's getting cracked on.
Right.
I'm so square and I don't care. Okay.
I probably
So
got 1995 terminology that I still
Okay,
use. I
so
don't know.
wait, so you're telling me
He's out here getting jiggy
that
with it.
you right. You're
can't
telling
tell
me
you.
when you go out that you don't get cracked on.
I get hit on, but ain't nobody cracking me.
wait.
Meaning that you not like I'm not giving you a successful experience.
To be cracked means they succeeded.
So
Absolutely.
they shoot the shot and it
and
hit.
and it hit. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that nobody like approaches you, and I was like, well, that
Oh,
can't be
no,
true.
no,
I was
no.
like, that makes you a lie and a liar.
No, I would have been a bold-faced lie.
Right.
So I guess y'all was thinking that's getting cracked on as like being hit on.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Nah, being cracked on is me like okay, man, my girl just got cracked. I mean like yeah, she just got broke open.
Okay, so question is, so if
You
y'all
know what
are
I'm saying?
okay, so giving your scenario again, so if y'all vibing,
Yeah.
your energy's on the same page. Take notes.
Yeah.
Producers,
One-on-one.
write this down. We're gonna
One-on-one.
write this down. Dirty Rose's dictionary.
There you go.
So, but given your scenario, so like y'all are vibing, y'all cool, y'all on the same level, y'all whatever, but you haven't had a conversation about what it is that y'all are doing.
Yeah,
So therefore,
that's good.
it's open for interpretation. So you're saying that there's a subliminal expectation that she should not.
That sounds like a whole lot of
It
miscommunication
does.
when it could have been
Well,
handled with a
let's keep it
conversation.
real, right? Like if we dating and I'm catching a vibe with you and you catching a vibe with me, like the energy is letting me know what's up. So
That
I
sounds
don't even
toxic as
gotta
fuck.
like for me, I don't even gotta like why we gotta talk about it if you want to be with somebody else.
So
we
if you hear me
talking
though,
about what we talking about and doing what we
if you hear
doing,
me,
if you hear me.
if you hear me though,
So some people say that what's
Respectfully.
understood doesn't need to be discussed, right? I've heard that phrase of
what's understood don't need to be
Yeah,
explained.
it don't
Yeah.
gotta be
So I've
explained.
heard that. However, because no one person, like I had no idea what you were meaning specifically when you said cracked. I thought I did.
Yeah.
But we're sitting across from each other, and I'm thinking I fully understand what you're saying, and I don't. And that doesn't necessarily mean that,
You had bad intentions.
right? I just didn't have a full
No.
understanding because I didn't get the definition in full to know what you thought was okay versus what I think is
But-
okay and how we're moving in our.
Correct, but we also in the same ballpark. You feel what I'm saying? You know that okay, it's something to do with stepping out, or something to do either getting hit on.
But if we're not together, I don't owe you monogamy. We haven't even discussed
Not at
that.
all.
So, but is that then a reason to be like, okay, she's not moving how I? If you thought that you guys were at least building towards being together, monogamous, etc., then for her to go out and date somebody else, and now you're like, oh, it's not quite what I thought because she's entertaining somebody else.
Right,
But
well,
she didn't have an understanding you even wanted that from her.
right. So here's correct, and I respect that, right? And I
Yeah.
respect the stance on being in a quote unquote open relationship or just not having that communication of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But my thing is, and how I operate is, I'm gonna let you do what you want to do, so I can see what you rather do. I want to see how you move.
Do you move in that same fashion?
Yeah, I love to do what I want to do. I want to do what I want to do as well, and I want you to see what I rather do. So if I'm with you every day, if
Yeah.
I'm spending time with you, this is what I would rather do. Not because I have to, not because there's a stigma on me. It's because this is really where I want to be.
So I know, especially as a single woman, and talking to
Habitually
elders,
single.
habitually single, right, habitual dater, just sort of talking to elder women
Yeah.
who have been there for a while. They'll say you're single until you're married. And single's to be single, and to date is to date, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not feeling the person you're with. But if that person hasn't stepped up to the plate and said, I want a commitment, I want to be committed to you, then a lot of times women feel like they're playing themselves or putting all their eggs in one basket, even if that's what they want to do. And that's not to say we don't want to do it, but if there's not an understanding that if I give you all these eggs in this one basket, that you're not just going to run with it because we never talked about what you want.
And I feel like women tend to do that a lot more too. Like women are the ones that have to prove that they're
Loyal, where
into
men
it,
don't
yeah.
have to they
Right.
don't have to make as much proof.
right.
Yeah. And that's the cold reality of it. And I don't know why it's like that. I don't know where it came from. I'm not even necessarily saying that it's right.
No, I think it's a double standard, but
double
it's always
standard.
been there. It's not a new
Yeah.
It's
thing.
always been there.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
always been there. But where, like, at what point, if you dating somebody or seeing somebody and mind you, on a constant basis, at what point do you say, okay, this is my person, right? Like, I know for me, like, I'm an energy guy. I'm a big energy guy, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Cancer Gang. June 23rd is the birthday.
Lord have
Okay.
mercy.
Cash App is A Green.
He said he
Nah, I'm
wants some-
playing.
he
Look,
wants some friends.
Nah.
Plug that, plug
I'm
that.
playing. I ain't gonna do that. Dirty Roses. But,
Thanks for the plug.
Yeah. But, you know, but I'm a big energy guy, right? And so for me, it's like I can catch a vibe from you easily. You know what I mean? So if we hanging out, we dating, we vibing, and we talking about the things, and we want to make moves together and plays together, like, like I don't expect you to think that I'm about to be out here just moving around throughout the city, and I don't expect you to be moving around throughout the city. There's a certain amount of like loyalty that don't have to really be talked about necessarily. That's already understood.
But now let's also throw this other little nugget out here. You are a pro athlete. Okay. There's a lot of also stigma that comes with dating a professional athlete, and there's a lot of clout chasing, a lot of women, and it's almost a risk investing in, unfortunately, someone like you,
especially in this small city.
especially in small, and it's not because you don't have good intentions, but it's because the profession that you landed in enables you to so much more temptation, and it does. You know, it's kind of like, I think also women expect the charisma and the ability to speak well, because that's part of your job too, is engagements.
Yep.
And so sometimes it can be like, well, is this just how he naturally is, or is he like this for me? We've never
that's
really
good.
That part.
we've never really discussed, like, yo, is it me
That's
this got
good.
him locked in, or is it because this is who he is?
Oh, that's good. That's real. What's the question?
The question is kind of going back off of energy, and you go off of energy, and understanding that that's how you move, because that's how you move.
Right.
But let's say you've met a new lady, and you guys have this energy, and it's great. But she also understands, my God, he's a good-looking guy. He's a black guy in the city where there's not, small in numbers.
Right.
He's an athlete. He's established. He's got all these wonderful things going for himself. And just because we're vibing, how do I know that he's not vibing just like this with the next one?
No, that's good. Going back to the energy, I mean, I guess it's a feeling that she might have to. I can't really speak for her and her stance, right? But I do agree with how it can be difficult to decipher, like, which one is real and which one's not.
Which is where I keep saying the conversation.
It's like dating an actor. Like, is he are those real tears? But he just hopped on play, and cried for 30 minutes.
I wouldn't want to date an actor.
I
would struggle with that.
I get it.
Sociopath.
Right.
But with that being said, so like you said, if someone tries to force a title on you, you kind of run, right? So if someone wants to have a conversation to determine whether or not your energy is with them or with somebody else, does that conversation scare you off? Because
no, it don't scare me off. It don't scare me off. See, my thing is, like, I just want to understand you. And I want you to understand me. Like I love my space. You know what I mean? Like, I love to like sit and like sometimes in silence or just watch a movie and just like not even talk for 30 minutes to an hour. Like, I love my space, and I want to understand what you might like or what you might need. And I think once that's been established, but I know how to move with you now.
Right.
You know how to move with me. And so you won't take it as, okay, this is real or this is fake. Okay, nah, he's not talking to me for an hour. Bro, you can come to the crib. And I'll be working on the computer, and just sit by me, just be in my space.
Yeah.
Right.
Not necessarily
And
doing
that kind
anything.
of goes back to love languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of love languages?
I heard of love languages.
Do you know what yours is? Like, what you need from someone else?
I need a vibe.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that's a vibe.
I don't think that's okay.
I got my
So let me
own
break
love
some of it down.
language.
So
I need a vibe.
we got physical touch. We have affirmation, acts of service.
Right.
What are those other two? Gifts, and then
there's quality time.
And so that's the 5 right there.
Yeah. I think.
So are you someone that's like, I need the quality time, and quality doesn't necessarily mean quantity. That doesn't mean you're in my space every day.
Right.
Our time is quality.
I do like quality time. But I think, man, it's hard because it's like whatever you lack growing up, I feel like that's what your love language is. If I lack physical touch, I need physical touch from you. If I lack words of affirmation growing up, I need words of affirmation from you. For me, like, I mean, all of those hit for me.
Yeah.
I love physical touch. I love words of affirmation. I love gifts.
Yeah.
I love quality time.
And how do you show love? Like, if you were dating someone, and what would be your way of showing, if it's not, because we kind of talked about like, oh, you know, like gift giving is cool and everything, but is that how you make sure someone knows you care about them, or is it you spending time with them?
I'm a physical touch guy. You know, if you
So
driving,
if you ain't touching her, you ain't feeling her.
nah, that's not true. That's not true. But there's never going to be
over here.
there's never going to
Bring
be
it
a
over
point where I'm not touching you, because you know, like if I see you, I'm gonna hug you.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm walking past you, if we in a grocery store or going to a movie, I walk past you, I'm gonna rub your back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like naturally. You know,
Okay.
if you driving, I'm putting my hand on your thigh. You know, or vice versa. If I'm driving, I'm putting my hand on your ear.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we watch a movie, I'm gonna rub your feet. You know what I mean? Like I'm a physical touch guy naturally, but I also show love by just like, again, showing like effort. I want to show effort, but I also want to bring like energy.
Yeah.
And I want to see what you need. Like, okay, how can I be an asset to your life?
I like that.
And then we can kind of go off that, you know?
So if you could establish what the levels of relationships are, how would you outline them?
The levels of relationships.
From meeting to being in this together. How we get there?
Going from like 1 to like 10.
Sure.
Right?
10 is a big number too, but you know, just
10 a big
Your-
number.
your
10 is like you married, in my opinion.
no. Actually, according to research,
Uh-oh.
Wait, hold on. Let him give his numbers first.
Yeah,
And
so
then,
so for me, like, if we, so let's say we had a 1, I'm gonna try to number them. I might skip a couple. Let's say like the 1 or 2 range. Let's say, you know, we just communicating that. For me, that might be like an Instagram. We just kind of DM and flirting. You know, I ain't even
Okay.
seen you yet in person.
okay,
You know, but we just kind of, you know, I can go to Instagram and hit you on a DM, and we just kind of flirting on that. It's like a 1 or 2. Right? You can probably touch 3. You know, now let's go 3, 4, 5. I've seen you. You know, we might have went out, had a bite to eat. You know, had good conversation. You kind of understand where I'm at. You know, I'm busy. You busy. This is what you do for work. This is what I do for work. You know what my goals is. I know what your goals is. And okay, I like it. I can vibe with it. You know, I see you when I see you. You know, but we not really in touch like that on a daily basis.
okay,
Okay, let's go back from 4. Let's go 4, 5, 6. You know, you seen each other. You got a good vibe, you know, energy is good, you know, you like this person, you know, and okay, I might want to see where things can go, you know, so I'm going to keep in contact with you. I'm going to say good morning to you, say good night to you, how was your day, I'm going to check in with you, you know, if you're going through a stressful time, I'm going to sit on the phone, I'm going to listen.
okay,
You know what I mean, and vice versa. If I got a stressful day or something on my mind, I can call you, confide in you, and you just listen to me.
okay.
We can take it to the, now, we going,
Have you been on a date yet?
I've been on a date.
No.
No,
according
according
to
Oh,
your
yes,
numbers.
yes,
You
yes,
didn't
yeah,
been on a
yeah,
date.
yeah.
he's like, now I'm a 30.
Right, I got 30
Yeah, I've been-
yeah,
yeah,
3
I've been on a
kids.
date.
I've been on a date. Okay. I know how it goes.
I just told you.
Yeah. No, but yeah,
listening.
but yeah, according to that list, yeah, that 4, 5, 6, yeah, you been on a date. Yeah,
A
you got-
dates or multiple dates?
You probably been on a multiple dates.
Okay.
Yep, 2 or 3 dates. You know, and again, you know, you going out and having a bite to eat. Y'all just chilling. You know, I might not be picking you up, you know, at 7 o'clock and we dressed and it's
On the
fancy.
dot?
But it's on the
In your
dot.
drop
You know, in
top?
the drop top, cruising the street. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Did you just Jodeci? Ooh, yeah?
Usher.
That
That's
was
Usher.
No, I know, but the ooh,
Oh, the ooh yeah was
that
probably
was hell
Jodeci. That was Jodeci. Yeah,
We were
see?
talking about cracking, so you know.
Nah, look, yeah, we going, yeah. Look, so right, like you know,
Okay.
and this is like, oh look, meet me over here. You know, we sit down and
Uh-huh.
have a bite to eat. Yeah, I'm paying for it.
Okay.
You know, show you a good time. We're gonna laugh and have a good time, right?
Okay.
We going up to like the 8s.
Yep.
Right, the 7, 8, 9s.
Okay.
Okay, look, you hear me? What we doing? Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
She got
what
cracked.
we doing?
She got
yeah,
cracked.
yeah.
You feel me, though?
Yeah, if you hear me, you know, if you hear me,
Respectfully.
respectfully, you know, we on that type of time, right? I understand what
Okay.
you like, I understand what you don't like, you understand
Okay.
what I like, what I don't like. You with me, you know, you in my space, you
Okay.
feeding off my energy, I'm feeding off your energy, I'm in your space. We sharing influence, you know, we trying to make a move.
Okay.
You
And
know,
that's
we-
your 9 or 10?
that's my 9s, and yeah, that's my 8, 9s.
That's your 8, 9.
That's my
Okay.
8, 9s. That's my
Okay,
8, 9s. Like,
interesting.
yeah, we up there.
Okay.
Yeah, we trying to see what's up. Now, again, back on that, I'm not outside,
Okay.
right? So, meaning like I'm not dating nobody else.
Okay.
You know, I'm not moving with nobody else. I'm not entertaining things on the socials, right? Like I'm respecting your energy. I'm respecting your peace. I'm respecting like your boundaries. Like,
Okay.
like you know, like I'm locked in with you. You can like you can lay down at night knowing that, bro, you got a solid dude next to you.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I can lay that night knowing, bro, she's solid. I got her back regardless, right?
Okay.
Now we going to 10s, right? I tore my ACL on my left knee in 2011, week 6 in Minnesota. I'm getting down on that left knee with a ring. I'm proposing if we at the 9s and 10s. If we at 10, yeah, you locked in. This is like for life. We doing this for life.
That's because you tore your ACL?
No, I'm just emphasizing the fact that I would get down on a hurt knee. I would get down on a hurt knee.
What it takes to lock you down? He's out. He can no longer play the game.
He goes with the little slice.
The girls come by with razors.
And Nancy Kerrigan get Tanya Hart in that ass.
Right?
You gonna get a knee brace in this.
Right. She's like, I'll take care of you, baby.
Yeah, I just got triggered by knee braces.
Okay, so I'm listening to your analysis and breakdown, and it's very different than the conversation I had with another guy, because we both, me and this guy agreed, I can't get any closer to this thing without eating it.
Hey, that was perfect.
Oh my God.
Put it all in
Me and this guy, we kind of agreed on this list of levels of being single and how it's easy to misunderstand where you are in the relationship. So when I heard you talk about where you were at level 4, 5, and 6, you were really still talking about level 1. And so I'm gonna briefly go over these, but level 1 is single and ready to mingle. You are single and you just outside. You're ready to mingle. Level 2, single as fuck. You're still single, okay? You're seasoned in dating, but you're not talking to anybody. You were just out there like
living your best life,
shooting your shot, not cracking nobody, shooting them shots, okay?
It's cap.
Level 3, you're still pretty darn single.
Oh, he says when he shoots, he cracks. Every time.
I ain't saying that.
So level 3 is pretty darn single.
I'm kidding.
You may meet somebody, but there's no commitment, nothing at all. Level 4 is single, but talking, texting, and sending emojis. You haven't been on a date yet. You've just met somebody, you've exchanged numbers, you've decided that person is well enough for you to engage in conversation. Then there's 5, which is single with a pending date. You guys haven't been out yet, but you're talking about it. Hey, you trying to go catch this movie? You trying to go do this or that? Level 6 is single but capable of an actual date. So now you're gone past the, is this somebody I want to go on a date with, but now you're actually going on it. Single is 7 is single with a possibility of a second date. So you've been on date 1, but you're only now looking at date 2 at stage 7.
Wow.
Okay. Number 8 is single but hanging out with someone. So that's no commitment. You're just hanging out. You've gone on a couple dates. You're non-committal. You're chilling, enjoying each other's company. That was 8. That was 8. So 9 is single but contemplating whether it will become exclusive. So you're like, I like this person. We've been on a few dates. We haven't committed yet, but is this someone I could see myself being exclusive with? And then number 10 is in a relationship. And sometimes it's unclear what that relationship looks like or how permanent it is. But at this point, you've vetted the person. You know what I'm saying? You've talked to them. You've texted them. You've been on more than 2 dates that don't necessarily end in sex or anything like that. And you like, this is somebody I can see myself spending time with. Right. So now let's talk about a relationship and what does that look like to be in one.
So 10 is like your 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, and I call cap on that whole list because there ain't, and maybe my perspective is off, but ain't nobody out here really single and ready to mingle like that.
Okay, now why do you think that?
There's always that person. When I make a story or a post, I don't care if I got 1,000, 1,500 people watching my story. I want to see if that one watching.
Okay.
There's single ready to mingle. I'm going out because I want to see if I can find something.
Yeah, that's single and.
But mingling is like I'm just doing wherever the wind blows me. I'm going.
Well, yeah, you haven't met anybody.
Nah, when I go out, man, I want that person to sweep me off my feet.
How do you know who that person is?
You don't know. You don't know. But my thing is, bro,
But you're ready to be swept, is what you're saying. So you're looking for someone.
So do you not have somebody in mind?
No, if I'm going out on a Saturday night, I'm getting dressed up with my girlfriends, I'm single, I'm hoping to meet somebody. I don't know who I'm going to meet.
I got a question.
Yes, you in the front.
I got a clarification.
Go ahead.
I think what it's saying is his list is based on the person that you've already talked to or found.
But then
this list is based on you haven't met the person
You're
yet.
meeting some. You're in the process.
Okay.
Single and ready to mingle. You are with.
You just out.
Your cousins, your homies, your friends. You're single. You are not tied to anybody.
But his number 1 was I've already identified a person of interest.
But if you single ready to mingle, and let's just be real, if you single ready to mingle, right? Yeah. I'm going out with the whatever
you shouldn't
it
be
is.
on this list to begin with.
Well, look. but look. If I'm single ready to mingle, do I not? Okay, let's say I don't meet nobody while I'm out.
Okay.
Do I got somebody who I can hit up when I get back to the crib?
Yeah,
I feel like
you're
most
still
guys
single.
do.
Yeah,
women do too or no?
I don't. Not right now. under the bus.
I'm gonna just sip my drink.
Right.
Oh, okay.
We ain't answering all questions today. Okay.
Okay. You don't got time today?
She evidently.
I mean,
Okay.
everybody has options. You have options. Your options Outback. You just don't want
I
your
don't
option.
want my options, therefore I don't have options. If you don't want it, is it really an option?
It is.
Absolutely.
It's always an option.
It is not.
It's definitely an
not
option.
what I want
It's
for
definitely-
myself.
It's an option that you choose not to take.
No.
Correct.
Just because he wants me doesn't mean that he is my option.
No, it absolutely means he's an option.
Oh,
He is
okay.
not my option. I am his, what he wants.
But if you wanted him, you could.
I guess we're playing on the word if, because if I
She said
don't,
if.
then is it still an option? I'm saying that's
Because
a door I don't
but
want.
an option means that it is available for your taking if you choose to. You're just saying you choose not to take that option. You choosing to go to door number 2.
I mean,
So
okay,
therefore, it's not a viable option, but it's an option.
that's an awful option.
It really is. But I'm just saying.
Shout out to,
To
my,
be-
I don't know who it is. But shout out to you, bro. I'm sorry.
The sirens come out when he walks outside.
I'm
He
sorry,
sends good
man.
morning text at 12 o'clock in
Somebody
the
probably feel that way
afternoon.
about
oh my
me too, bro.
gosh. I can't
Happens
take
to the
it.
they
best
do.
of
I
us.
can't.
Happens to the best of us.
Oh my
Life is
gosh.
hard.
I'm gonna have to
Life
block
is
him.
hard.
I'm gonna have to block him now because we've mentioned him a few times.
Life is hard.
And he gonna put it together, be like, I know where I work. Is this me you talking about?
No,
Shout out to all my guys, man, who really try to like.
Don't up the ragged.
Listen, shout out to my guys who really try hard to be their best self for that person.
I ain't gonna
It's
lie.
hard.
It takes a lot of confidence
It's hard.
for a man to approach a woman.
It do. It really do. It
I
really
agree.
do.
Yeah.
Which is why I try not to be so quick to be like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna at least I'll take your number and find out if I'm wrong.
Right. Right. That's fair.
I'm not
That's
wrong
fair.
in
Yeah.
this one, but I at least found out that I wasn't wrong.
That's fair.
Right.
At least you gave him a chance.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
That's
That
fair.
makes sense?
That's fair. But it, and it take a lot more courage for a guy to get turned down and to keep fighting
True. That's why I'm just gonna
and to
block
keep
him.
pressing.
Then that way he doesn't have to see me winning.
Oh Lord.
That's so tough. Poor guy.
But with the levels, yeah. But going back to this number one, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to really think like okay, a girl out here single. Like if I approach a girl and say I'm single, okay, you probably got about 2 in the back
But
door.
that's still single. Like just because you have 2 in the back door doesn't mean you're single, aren't you?
How single is it?
That's why we broke this
Okay.
down. Like there's still levels of single. You can
Okay.
be single and dating. That
Right.
doesn't mean you're not single. The act of dating is that dating, finding the person that you really want to be with. But you don't just jump into a relationship. You find out if this is someone I want to be in a relationship with. So you do have to go through that period of getting to know someone. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with that.
Right.
Do y'all agree with really going through that period
Yeah.
and taking that time?
absolutely.
I don't. Like I want to get to know right now.
So
You know, like I want to know
But
right
okay,
now.
but if you're saying that, you're also saying that you have the expectation of I'm going to put all my energy into one person. But you said earlier that you like getting the cups full.
No, right. No, what I'm saying is if I find somebody that I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Right.
Like I ain't gotta keep like playing this
Right,
single
but
game.
no,
You
you're
don't-
saying the same
right.
thing, but I think you're saying it at different levels. She's saying you're single until you meet that person
Oh, okay,
that you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
give
for
all
sure.
that to.
Right.
And I think that's what we're saying is that your list is at the point of where you have identified that person.
Where you identified that person.
Yes.
Yeah.
so
Your list starts a little later in this list.
Correct.
This list starts
correct.
with you being single.
Yeah. I'm starting at like 4 and 5.
Right.
And that also kind of goes into the type of people that we all date, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Right.
what I'm picking up is that you are definitely someone who responds to energy, chemistry, and instant. Is that there? That thing? That it?
that instant gratification.
Can
It
we
can
catch
be-
a vibe? You know?
So there's
Can we
that.
catch one?
So there's that, and then there's also people like me, for example. I'm much more in my head. I'm very methodical. I do not think emotionally. I do not think with my heart
Right.
first.
Right.
I 100% want to weigh options, which isn't always the best because a lot of times I end up weighing out a whole option that could have been right,
Yeah.
but because I'm over analyzing it, I ruin it. So
Right.
I mean, that's why I say it's important to date. And just because you decide that you feel in someone
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't still see if those other options are there.
Yeah.
But once you decide this is who I want to be with, it still takes kind of an understanding that you're
Yeah.
where you're at.
And I don't know where I'm at because shit.
Would you say
I don't
say
know.
that
I
you're a
am-
logical or emotional dater?
Apparently, I've been told I'm very masculine, which means that I am
You
a
are
logical
masculine.
thinker.
You know you my man.
I know.
Logical.
I'm a whole man. I'm a whole man in these streets. But
We
no,
go-
I
Last time I checked.
But I do think I'm a logical thinker, so I don't put too much onto it. I also don't know if I am in a position where I'm looking to be anywhere on anybody's list because I've never dated. So this is all brand new to me. So I'm looking at these lists like, okay, this is where we're at right now. Like,
so
I don't know.
if you met someone who you were just vibing and had
Indeed.
great chemistry with, would you feel comfortable with shutting down your dating pool and being like, let me focus on this because I'm feeling the energy?
What I tell people is I'm not looking for it. It's not intentional, but if it happens, I'm with it. If it happens organically and naturally, cool.
Yeah.
I do it. But I match energy. So like if we vibe and it's cool.
Yeah.
Then it's whatever. But if there's a disconnect, I'm not no pressure. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking for nothing to begin with. So
Right,
I'm okay.
right. I
So
feel
I
that.
think that's where I'm at right now. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'll always be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and that's fair. I think that's very fair. Very interesting. We all have kind of different approaches.
Yeah.
I like it though.
You a
Yeah.
Libra?
I am a Virgo, baby.
Oh, Virgo. Okay.
Very picky.
Okay.
Very neat freaks.
Assholes.
Analytical assholes. I've been called that, and I don't think that I am though. But
You're not.
But do you
coy-
embrace it, or is it like offensive to you?
it's not necessarily offensive. I don't understand when people say that to me. I'm like, what the fuck did I say that was assholish?
Yeah.
And then I'm told
'Cause
maybe that's
you
it.
say things like, Outback is not an option.
Because
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
okay, but
yeah,
why?
yeah.
Okay, no. But why does that make me
I know.
assholish? Because I've kind of established what I do and don't want.
I think it's
I'm
the
just
way.
being funny.
I think it's the way, and it's coming
My
from
delivery?
The delivery, the way that you said it. Like, nah, I ain't nah.
Man, if you were to meet
He
him,
ruled out.
If you were to meet him, if I were to show, I'll
Shout
show
out to
you.
bruh.
Nah,
I root for every man in this world who's trying to make a way.
I'm gonna show you when we get off this here today. You'll be like, I understand now why you're conflicted.
Oh man,
It's
I can't judge that based off appearance though.
No, it's not just off appearance. I did have a conversation. I did catch some videos he sent me, and I just really thought to myself, where are we gonna go together in life? How are we gonna build each other? I could see how I
Yeah.
can build him. I
Yeah.
absolutely see how I can build him, but I don't know that he can elevate me. And
Yeah, we're not building
not even
theirs.
on some selfishness stuff, but I want to grow together. I don't want to carry you.
What is it that a man need to be qualified that a woman say okay? Because I know what we want.
I don't think
right?
that's not a straightforward answer. It
It's
depends
not.
on the person's
person?
preference. Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
know for sure women are looking for stability. That's
that's where
a
I was going with it.
thing.
Okay.
And stability looks different to different people.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So stability could be finances, stability could be emotion, stability could just be a lot of different things. And so stability is what I usually hear most women talk about and what they're looking for. They don't
Right.
want to feel like when they're coming home, they're not sure if the two of them combined are going to have a place to live next month.
Right.
They don't want that insecurity of are you going to be out dating other women? I'm unsure
Right.
about your
Right.
plans with me.
Or
Right.
stability
Yeah.
in the sense of you don't want to be walking on eggshells around somebody. You know,
Right.
like you
That's-
want to make
that's-
sure that
that's
you're emotionally
huge.
safe.
Yeah.
And for people like me or like Nicole who has been, single, like you develop a level of independence.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to feel safe with somebody, to be vulnerable enough to let down that wall and to
Yeah.
be in your feminine.
And for someone who's been single for a long time, it
good.
becomes harder because I've had many years of taking care of myself. So now it's like, well, let's take the gentleman who works at the Outback, whatever.
I feel like we need to get a
Shout out to
sponsorship by
shout out to
Outback.
Outback. Shout out to Outback.
To be fair, he has a job, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's not that he's not working. He does have a vehicle. Or somebody's. I've seen him driving it on his Instagram. And so he has a means of transportation, and that's amazing. What I don't see is how we're going to afford the lifestyle that I hope to have for myself. How do we get there together? Because I did ask, I was like, is this your part-time job? Because I respect that too. Sometimes we have more than one hustle.
Facts.
And there's no knocking that because I don't
No.
want to take the service industry like it ain't shit, because that's not the case.
Right.
I'm like, okay, maybe this is his after work extra hustle on the weekends or whatever, but no, this is it. So knowing that, and knowing the area that I live in, and knowing the cost of living of where I live in, and knowing what I make, and knowing that it's not easy even with my income.
Right.
Well, what are we doing together to
Right.
elevate and get to another level of comfortability?
Add
Yeah.
to the dictionary.
I know men have a tendency of leveling up and doing things beyond their expectation when they woman trust in them. when that woman just support them. So I might be at this job that's not making much, but once you come into my life and you kind of encouraging me and pushing me and supporting me, like to go do something that I really didn't think I could do or wanted to do necessarily, like.
So
See,
I'm
I like self-starters though.
I'm gonna push back a
But,
little bit.
man,
So there's a difference between supporting somebody who has drive and ambition and is actually following through with their goals,
Right.
and to support somebody who has ideas and lofty things that they're not moving towards.
Right.
So,
Correct.
So you can support somebody and be that space where you're like, I'm gonna encourage you, I'm gonna support you, I'm gonna ride or die or whatever. But if you're not making moves on your own at all, period.
Oh yeah,
then
no,
that's
yeah,
a
you
no.
can't beat a
Right.
dead horse.
Right. When you
Yeah.
waking up at noon talking about at a quarter to one.
Talking about good morning.
Talking about good
No,
morning,
yeah.
Late
with
nights, early
with a
mornings.
beer in your hand.
Yeah,
like this is
yeah,
how we
nah,
starting our day.
nah.
And I'm like, my guy, it's a
Let-
Thursday. I've been at work since 7. Why
Yeah.
are you just now waking up?
Right.
What are you doing?
Unless we on vacation.
Yeah,
That part.
and we're not.
Yeah,
so
nah.
walking
Okay,
down
then
the-
yeah, so that's different.
That's
Yeah.
and
You
that's
know,
what I'm saying.
I'm
It's
talking
like,
about the ambitious ones. That's
right,
you
and
know.
and that's the thing. That's why I'm like, well, is this your only job? And I'm
Right.
not trying to knock again the industry or what he does, but I'm like, is your goal to franchise this particular location? Because that's respectable too.
Right? Is it a stepping stone?
But it's not.
yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't really know. And I remember going through our pages, and I was like, oh, we're really different, aren't we?
little head nod.
Look, see, that's that
We're a
Virgo.
little-
That's that Virgo right there.
We're a little different. He's like, yeah, girl.
I don't say it's a
I'm
Virgo thing. I
he's
think
like, I'm
that's
gonna bring
a-
you out your shell. I was like, I'm good in my shell. Thanks. I like it here. Safe.
I feel like that's an established woman thing. And I think when we get to a certain age as well, like we have worked really hard to establish ourselves and be the
Definitely,
place.
definitely.
And while having a man who is ambitious and growing and doing things, it's a matter of, is that going to align with where I'm at in my life right now, where I'm trying to go? You know, I hate putting timelines on stuff, but at a certain age, you have a timeline. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure,
So it's
for
like,
sure.
does that align? And if it doesn't, then it just may not be the right person at the right time.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, and man, it's so crazy because how I talked about before with that white picket fence in the house and all that stuff, right? When I think about it today and I close my eyes and I think about like somebody next to me, like it's a blank space
Yeah.
there.
It's
You
hard
know,
to envision it.
it's hard to envision it. To be honest, no, I'm really like locked in and really trying to like grow as much as I can with just me
Yeah.
No,
right
facts.
now. You
And
know,
that's fair.
So has your vision of what you want out of a partner or out of a relationship changed since you've grown up, obviously, like you?
yeah, definitely. Like I don't look for the same things. Like man, I used to classify being successful as me just having somebody in the house. Like this is really my first time I think since leaving high school that I went this long without a relationship. To be real, you know, like but because I always classified, okay, as long as I got, you know, my girl in the crib and I'm in a relationship, I'm successful, I'm good.
Yeah.
And
You're meeting the steps that you thought you were supposed to
Yeah,
take.
yeah, I'm
Gotcha.
doing something right, you know, and I'll fix everything else in my life as it comes, you
Yeah.
know. But as long as I have this part of my life secure,
Yeah.
then I'm good.
Then you know where you're at.
even
where
though
you're supposed to be.
even though it's chaos in the house,
Right.
You know, even though it's I'm miserable every day. She miserable every day. But as long as I have this, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's
You
a
know,
false sense we were
it's a
sold.
false sense.
At
Yeah.
the age that we were born, or in the 80s when we were born,
Right.
coming up, absolutely, we were sold that the steps of what it means to be a grown up and the steps of maturing and kind of
And being
getting
successful.
and being successful
Yeah.
meant you went to school, you got degrees, you landed some sort of successful profession,
Right.
and then you found someone that you're interested in, and you settled down, and you got married, and
And
you had
all this
kids,
is
and
supposed to happen before you're 30.
all
Before you're 30,
all
yeah, before 30.
right? And then it's just this fairy tale. And I
Yeah.
think obviously as we have all gotten older, that's not what relationships look like today. There's a lot of reasons why relationships don't look like that today. But and then managing how to still have success and feeling like you've accomplished what you're supposed to when
Right.
you haven't met these critical benchmarks that we were told
That part.
Right.
subconsciously that we were supposed to meet.
That part.
So yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. And like that's why I always say, and I know it's like, you know, with the young kids saying all that stuff, but I always say, I just want to catch a vibe with somebody. Like let me
Yeah.
just do life with you.
Yeah.
Let's just do life together. However that looks like. If we get married, cool. If we just don't get married for the rest of our life, and
we're-
we taking care of kids,
Oprah
and we raising our
Stedman.
families, and we making moves and
Yeah.
traveling and having a good time and,
Yeah.
and bringing
Right.
peace and filling each other's cup,
Yeah.
bro. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm so with that.
I mean, relationships look different to everybody. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, we were talking yesterday about, Oprah and Stedman.
Right.
They're both successful. They're happy. They don't even live together full time. I mean, they're around each other all the time, but they don't want to be with anybody else.
Right.
Is Oprah stepping outside the relationship?
I mean,
Oh,
there's
okay.
rumor about that.
Listen,
that
let me
lady
tell you.
Gail, you know what I'm saying? Oprah Stedman and
Look,
Gail.
Stedman
Yeah,
like it.
look.
He like it though. He
Little
ain't mad.
polyamory going
Is
on.
he doing his thing too?
Go ahead and bring that Bob over here.
It's so hard to
Let's
do
keep
that
it
with
real.
celebrities and people who have that
Why?
status. 'Cause-
Why?
well, no, I'm saying
They
it's
human too.
no. What I'm saying is it's hard to put them on a pedestal like they should be, like they have these things, because at the end of the day, for a lot of people, and I'm not even just celebrities, but people regular, like it can be a business arrangement, like marriage,
Nah, for
and that
sure.
traditionally, like in other cultures, it is a
It
business
is a business.
arrangement.
Right.
We've changed
And
it.
we've
Right.
made it about emotion.
Yep.
But technically, it is really a strategic plan that you have put in place
Bring
to
families.
help families together, bring villages together, to bring
Yep.
all these things, and you're doing all these things for that purpose only. And there was no emotion because they all
I wonder what I'd be worth. Like 3 cattle
2 cows and
and
a hookah,
and a chicken.
a wooden chicken
You
at
get
that.
a wood chicken. I'll give you my daughter if you go on ahead and bring me over a buffalo. Like what? Thanks, Pops. That's that big meat.
I would like to see, I would like to think there's some jewels involved in my trade, but
Yeah.
goddamn,
I
we
don't know.
gonna-
Isn't that what they traded back in the day? Like they
cattle,
traded goods.
Yeah.
They
At
weren't
least,
trading
can I get
diamonds.
can I at least get a breeding pair so that it results.
Reproduce
I'ma give
or
you
know what I'm saying?
something?
Like, you don't
like,
get
boy
one
this is
slider
reoccurring.
and a
You gonna get
girl
one
cow.
hamburger and you done.
Slider.
Yeah. Give me the slider.
Get a
Let's get
slider.
a fry
Can
and
I
a
at least
shake
be
with
a
it.
milk cow? Like,
You get a
Yeah,
girl cow and
yeah.
a girl horse, can't do nothing with them.
Come
All right,
on.
just ride around on the horse looking at the
hate
cow.
it. Oh my
But
god,
that's how it is now in modern day.
That's true.
You know, in
Yeah.
a different sense. You give me what, stability?
Yeah.
You give me, energy, peace, whatever it is. I give you I give you my hand. I give you my life. I give you my last name.
Transactional with a touch of emotion.
Uh-huh.
Got
And
it.
some glitter on your hands.
Some
And
glitter.
some glitter.
You know, it's gonna
Yeah.
sprinkle it.
Some little-
Some glitter.
So we talk about unicorns now. So
Yes.
you're worth a unicorn.
Well, you are worth-
Got
Okay,
it.
we upgrading.
We
We're
upgraded.
going from the cattle to the unicorn.
There we
okay,
go.
Yeah.
I know my worth.
Yeah, damn it.
I love it. This
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
This conversation was so good. What were your takeaways?
What was yours?
My takeaway is like the levels, man. Like I think my perspective on it is so strong because of my past relationships. But like I just want to vibe with somebody and like just do life with somebody.
Yeah.
Let's just do life. Whatever it looks like, it look like. Let's just do life. But I do like the take. I like what you were saying about like, nah, like I got this option, but it's not my option, it's his option. I like that. Like you kind of setting in stone, like, nah, this is what I expect
Yeah.
in my life, and I got to get better at doing that in a lot of areas, not just relationship wise, but I like your stance on that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
nah,
mean, you gotta-
that's his option.
You
It
gotta
ain't
know
my
you
option.
worth a unicorn. You don't, you don't want that over there.
yeah. I full with that heavy. I like
Yeah,
that.
no, I think my takeaway would absolutely be just picking up on energy, like what you were saying, and then sometimes it doesn't need to be as calculated. I'm a very calculated person, so just sort of listening to you talk about, well, how do you feel? How does this person, make you want to be? I think is a really good takeaway in the sense of looking outside of a checklist, essentially. So yeah,
Yep.
that was my biggest
I
takeaway.
like it.
What about
I
you?
think mine was being open to the fact that not everybody communicates the same.
Yeah.
And so you have to be understanding of what their way of communicating something to you is, and then rolling with that.
Yeah.
So that was my takeaway.
Can I say this? I do like when you like. It's interesting to me that you say you never dated before.
I did not.
She
so
went from
you
high
like in a
school to being
whole new-
married.
Yeah, I met.
So this is a whole new.
I met my ex when I was 18.
Okay.
We've been together ever since. Just recently divorced.
Yeah.
So I've been.
So
we
she is
grew up
new.
together. Literally became adults together and
Right.
everything. And now I'm in the dating world with this piss.
Welcome to
Filled.
the pissy
And
pool.
it's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not
Yeah.
fun. We hope for the best, but it can be a struggle.
Yeah, what they say, they prepare for the worst but hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yes, that
That's
is where
it.
I'm at
That's
right
it.
now, which is
Yeah.
why I don't know what the fuck I want.
But your
Okay.
perspective is on point though. You just like, look, if it happened, it happened. If it
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
there's no love lost is good. So that's
I'ma
I
roll
think
with
that's
that.
the right approach.
We'll roll with that.
Yeah.
Well, if folks want to find you, where
Yes.
can they find you?
Yep, you can find me on IG, A_Green15_. You can find me on Twitter, A_Green20. You can find me on Facebook at Alex Green Senior. Website, AlexGreen15.com. We got the books
Peep
out.
the
I am my
sweatshirt.
author.
Peep the
Peep the
sweatshirt.
sweatshirt.
Hey,
Yes.
hey.
We're gonna keep, there it is.
The books is out on dreamandbelievebooks.com, also on Amazon, and my Dream and Believe Foundation at dreamandbelievefoundation.com. Let's go.
What's up? Nick B, where can they find you?
Yes, of course, I can be reached on all platforms. Dirty Roses Podcast, dirtyroses.com.
I like how your voice just changed.
Well, because I'm trying to
get sexy. Huh?
Trying to get cracked.
Of course, you can find me personally on Instagram at @NickB_Nick B, and that's Nick with a K.
Right.
And Leela Ree, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere. Everywhere. On every single platform, I'm Leela Ree, LEIGHLARIE. Of course, Dirty Roses Podcast, and of course, our website, dirtyrosespodcast.com, where you can listen to all of season 1, catch up on season 2, leave us a review, a voicemail, follow what we're doing, and that's pretty much it.
Yes, thanks for being here.
We're gonna get
Pleasure.
dirty.
Tap
All right,
in. Dirty
thank
Roses.
you.
Let's go.
Vote